More spoiled milk at our schools. CBS 6 has learned that before bad milk made kids sick in Henrico, it caused trouble in another school district.
You may have read about it on your Facebook page. Secondary drowning. It kills children hours after they get out of the pool. CBS 6 investigates what you need to watch out for.
Helping police find missing kids. The FBI says a new app puts important information in the hands of thousands of police officers. How your smartphone could save a life.
Now, CBS 6 News at 6.
You may have read about the story. A California woman's toddler nearly drowns hours after falling into the water. It's called secondary drowning, and it's a real health risk. I'm Stephanie Rochon.
And I'm Bill Fitzgerald. Secondary drowning begins with your child inhaling water, but it could end in the hospital hours later. CBS 6's Shelby Brown's live at a pool in Chesterfield. And Shelby, what can parents do to keep their children from being a victim?
Well, Bill and Stephanie, the key is to keep your eyes peeled. Don't just depend on the lifeguard to do it all. You know, it only takes a split second for a child to ingest too much water. And when that happens, in some cases, it can have a devastating impact on the body.
Salami.
Until recently, nanny Victoria Vaden had never heard of secondary drowning.
I only heard about it like last week, and so her mom brought it to my attention.
When swimmers swallow too much water, it could have a devastating impact on their bodies within as little as 72 hours. YMCA Aquatics Director Cami Ramo explains, in some cases, it can be deadly.
Lungs can only take so much, and so what happens is then the lungs get saturated, and after the saturation happens, then that's what causes the problem. It'll actually stop oxygen to the brain.
Okay, ready?
Ramos says the one key thing parents can do to lessen the chance of their child becoming a victim is to make sure their child is swim tested to determine his or her abilities in the pool.
But sometimes children want to be in deep water because their friends are there, but they're not ready to do that yet, and that's when they can take in some water, and that's not a good thing.
Mo and other health experts say parents should monitor their child's behavior in the hours after they ingest pool water, looking specifically for signs of being lethargic and having a swollen stomach. Also consider, are they walking differently, having accidents? If their oxygen levels are low and parents aren't aware, allowing the child to sleep can be dangerous. In some cases, some victims don't wake up. The best thing to do, be overly cautious and head to the doctor.
The more cautious, the better, I feel. I mean, you'd rather be safe than sorry. It's your kids, you know. You gotta look out for them.
Bill and Stephanie, it's also worth mentioning that this doesn't just affect children. Adults can suffer from secondary drowning as well. The signs and symptoms hold true for adults. So if you find that you're in that situation as well, the best advice is to get to the doctor. Reporting live tonight in Bon Air, Shelby Brown, CBS 6 News.
Thank you, Shelby. Another Virginia school system has stopped serving Marva-made milk after learning the milk had spoiled before its expiration date. And the state health department says the milk had elevated levels of a bacteria. Notes were sent to parents in Prince William County 2 weeks ago when the district discovered the spoilage. Marva-made is the same milk provider linked to similar problems in Henrico County last week. The state health department is continuing its investigation.
New at 6, a Chesterfield father is accused of being drunk in public, fighting a woman, and then mistreating his child. Police tell us Richard Wells was arrested just after midnight last Wednesday. They were called to a neighborhood off Jeff Davis Highway in 288 because of a fight between a man and woman, and they found, police say, Wells walking away with his 10-week-old in a stroller. As police approached him, they say he fell and knocked over the stroller. The baby was not hurt. Wells is charged with public intoxication, child neglect, and felony assault.
This is not just a policing problem, but this is a community problem.
That's Mayor Dwight Jones saying why he believes many of the crimes in Richmond involving children are still unsolved. This morning, he, along with Police Chief Ray Tarasovic, urged witnesses to come forward to help put these criminals behind bars.
Chesterfield police want you to take a good look at this man. They say he used a cell phone to take pictures up the skirts of at least 2 women without their consent inside the TJ Maxx at the Chesterfield Town Center back on April 4th. Police say his victims did not know they were being filmed, but say store employees saw him. The man ran away when those workers approached him about it. If you can help police find this man, give them a call immediately. Despite the disapproval of his own party leader, a state delegate says he wants to impeach Virginia's Attorney General for not defending the state ban on gay marriage. As he indicated last week, Bob Marshall announced today a group of pastors is asking Virginia churches to support the impeachment of Mark Herring. Marshall's an outspoken critic of gay marriage, and you may recall earlier this year, Herring had sided with couples who were fighting for the ban to be struck down, and Herring refused to represent the state in the landmark court case that overturned the ban on same-sex marriage. That decision is being appealed, and Marshall has already filed 2 resolutions to explore whether Herring's decision merits impeachment. Now, the Office of the Attorney General tells CBS 6 these unsubstantiated and untrue claims come as court after court concludes, as A.G. Herring did, that bans on marriage equality are unconstitutional. Even the Republican Speaker of the House of Delegates, William Howell, said Marshall's push is not, quote, appropriate or practical, saying, "We hope these continued antics don't distract from resolving the current budget impasse."
Tonight, we say goodbye to an outspoken journalist and founder of the Richmond Free Press, Ray Boone. Boone's wife confirmed for CBS 6 News that he passed away this morning at his home in Richmond. Boone was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer last year and was in hospice care after becoming ill during chemotherapy. The Free Press has been the only black newspaper serving as a voice for Richmond for more than 20 years. It's been called a model for the survival of black newspapers in America. Boone was 76 years old.
A federal judge dismisses the state from a multi-million-dollar lawsuit filed by a UVA student who was wrongly accused of buying beer. CBS 6's Jarita Patterson was in court today. She brings us this update.
There is a battle over a $40 million lawsuit. Tuesday morning, federal judge Henry Hudson heard arguments from both the state and the attorney representing a college student suing more than half a dozen state agents, but dismissed from the lawsuit is the Commonwealth. UVA student Elizabeth Daly sat alongside her attorney Tuesday morning. Daly was arrested last year outside a Charlottesville grocery store by ABC agents who mistook sparkling water purchased inside the store for beer. In court Tuesday, Daly's attorney argued the plainclothes agents jumped his client as she tried getting inside her SUV. And as a result, part of the lawsuit alleges it was a form of assault and battery. An assault against her vehicle and battery, although not physical, was more of a, quote, mental injury from the terrifying ordeal. But the prosecution fired back, saying the nearly 50-page complaint from Daly was chock full of facts and full of dramatization. And Daly was in fact in the wrong when she resisted the agents and even hit several of them with her SUV as she drove off. The charges against Daly were eventually dropped, and Tuesday, Judge Hudson already dismissed 2 of Daly's claims in which the state was named as failing to train and supervise those ABC agents. There are still 10 counts remaining against the 7 agents named. Judge Hudson said he plans to issue an opinion on those remaining claims within 2 weeks. Reporting in the newsroom, Jarita Patterson, CBS 6 News.
Another celebrity sighting in Richmond at a well-known downtown restaurant. It's former American Idol runner-up and current congressional candidate Clay Aiken. Here he is at Pasture last night, where he snapped a picture with the owner. He told owner Michelle Jones he was in Richmond to visit friends. The 35-year-old is running as a Democrat for North Carolina's second congressional district, which is heavily Republican. Well, when a child goes missing, every second counts, and the FBI says your smartphone could be the best way to give them information they need to find that child. We'll show you the app that could save a life.
High praise for this Virginia officer who helped a mother and her baby ducklings cross the road last week. How far-reaching this good deed goes.
An update to a touching story we told you about last week. Hampton police officer Brian Rao escorted a mother duck and her babies across a busy road. The Hampton Police Department says they're getting thank you notes from around the world, places like Canada, South Africa, and Europe. There's another look at the event. A spokesperson for the department also says their Facebook page viewership since the video was posted is up 9,000%.
Wow. Speaking of great animals, well, maybe not so great. They tear up your couches and your shoes. But has a dog ever totaled your car? We'll tell you about a very expensive pet mishap.